oh, my mind is so powerful. No, but seriously, I really put a lot of effort into making my mind powerful. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you my secret to learning and self-improvement that has paid off dividends. And I've really, the last 10 years of my life, I've been non-stop learning and self-improving. I mean, people in my life think I'm crazy, but I'm committed. And I've gotten it down to a point where I really believe I have optimized this to the point where I have somewhat of a formula. And I'm going to go over that formula I have for you in this video to help you get things to the next level. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking I'm gonna, use the word mindset or some other things in this video, and you're like, I don't need another mindset video. Dude, I'm sorry, but this is gonna be a mindset video, but it's gonna have a twist. Everybody talks about the mindset, right? The mindset. And frankly, I'm bored of hearing about mindset too. It's like, how do you improve your mindset? How do you even train your mindset? Is it just following a lot of gurus that are pitching me on YouTube and Instagram and email? Well, yes and no. And the fact of the matter is, I hate that word mindset too, because it's like, how do you improve it? But I'll be going over right down here how you can improve it, the fastest way to improve it. What I've found, which is really interesting about mindset, is that you want to study people that are 1 to 2 levels above you, but not more. And the other thing I found out about is you don't want to study people who are at your level either. So there's a danger. If you're taking advice from people who are at your level, say you're working a job and you say, I want to quit my job, I want to make a lot of money, and your buddy says, oh man, I have some great advice for you. Just put money in your 401k and save up. I read this book and that's the way you get rich. Taking advice from another person who's in the same position as you is not going to help out at all. On the other hand, studying people who are many levels above you isn't going to help you either. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. How many of you have just lionized some of these 100 billionaire figures or guys with tens of billions of dollars, like the ones I mentioned? Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett. These guys, they're obviously unbelievably successful. Now, I fell into the same trap too, and I thought I should study these guys, right? They're the richest men in the world. And studying the richest men in the world is going to get me higher up. It's going to make me more money. I'm going to get their mindset. I'm going to become super wealthy, or even 1% as wealthy as these super billionaires. And frankly, for about a year, I spent studying almost every night different billionaires, not just the deca-billionaires that are at the tops of, the Forbes list, but also the guys further down. I studied a lot of tech billionaires, and I studied a lot of software billionaires and real estate billionaires, all sorts of billionaires, because I watched every single interview with Warren Buffett, Elon, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. I'd watched them all. I started studying all these other billionaires, but the reality is that knowledge is too many levels high for most of us to put into action, to actually take that and become wealthy and have that affect our outcomes ourselves. Now, the rule of thumb that I use for 1 to 2 levels is looking at somebody by you can look at their income or their net worth. I go by net worth as much as I can. Now, in my case, my net worth is in the 7 figures, right? It's in the millions. That's my net worth. What I found is a far more efficient way for me to study and train this weird amorphous thing such as mindset is by actually going to people who have net worths of 8 or 9 figures. Now, this blew my mind when I first came across it. And if your mind is beginning to be blown, or if this is starting to make sense, or if you're starting to see the threads, I'm going to tie them all together. Type in a mind blown in the comments. And if it just like blew up, or if there's a point where it just blows up, type in mind nuke if it was just nuked. Now for your six figures, if you have a six-figure net worth, you probably want to study people who have 7 or 8 figures net worth. If you have a 5-figure net worth, just start learning from people who have 6-figure or 7-figure net worths, and it will help you accelerate your outcome. And the difference is that you're getting more on the ground tactics of what you can do better in your business. You listen to Warren Buffett and Elon, they're going to talk about ideas and changing the world and all this stuff. And if you're just trying to get that first $100,000 in your bank account, you can listen to all of Elon's ramblings about how robots are taking over the world and how the future is self-driving cars and we got to hook up our brains to computers and the internet. But it's not going to help you put extra dollars in your bank account. Better learn from, if you're doing sales, learn from a salesperson who has 6 figures in their bank account, 7 figures in their bank account. Now, the difficult thing about this is there is an uncanny valley here that I found. Let's say 6 figures net worth. Those people are easy to find. If you're in any Western country, you can find people, the top salesperson in your company is worth 6 figures, maybe even 7, whatever it is. But the point is, you can meet a lot of those people face to face. They're walking around your town, even if you're in India, even in, towns that only have, 20,000 people. There are people that have 6 or 7 figures net worth in their bank account. Even in India, even in Pakistan, maybe they hide it well. They're there. Don't let them fool you. And it's easy to find the guys who have $1 billion or have $10 billion, who have $100 billion like Jeff Bezos. So at both ends of the spectrum, it's easy to find these people over here that have 6 or 7 figures net worth. And it's easy to find these people who have $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion net worth. But I found it was very hard to find those individuals as a 7-figure net worth individual that have 8 and 9-figure net worths. And sometimes maybe it's hard for you to find 7-figure net worth people that you can learn from. There are a lot on YouTube, but it's harder to find the people with 8-figure net worths, with 9-figure net worths, because most of those people, they aren't famous enough yet. They aren't lionized in their industry. They're just one of the in-between guys running a business with a lot of competitors, doing nothing interesting. The guy who started the brand Supreme, nobody would think about watching an interview with him, but this guy probably has a mid 8-figure net worth. I haven't run the numbers on the company, but they do about $100 million a year, I believe, or 80 or something like that. And if they do $100 million a year, you figure 20% margins, right? So that's $20 million, and after taxes, that's $10 million for the owner a year. So that founder probably has an 8-figure net worth. More specifically, I look to find people who are in as specific of an industry as possible that are 1 to 2 levels above me. Now, in particular, I'll try to find other affiliate marketers, but I just look for, because it's so specific, to find specific affiliate marketers that have interviews with them that have 8 to 9-figure net worth. I found it much easier to find marketers, direct response marketers that have 8 to 9-figure net worth. And all I do is watch interviews of these people, long form interviews, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2-hour interviews of these people. Now, I want to give a quick warning, this is so mind-numbingly boring compared to scrolling down your Instagram feed, looking at all those cool travel photos. And watching 1.5 interviews with people like the founder of BioTrust are going to be far more boring than watching a bunch of 10-minute videos of people like me throwing money in the air and showing you specific tactics of how to make money. Those are great, but it's not necessarily the mindset. I focus more on tactics, right? You have to be willing to take risks, and it's a risk with your time to do that. Find those people, though, because training your mindset is one of the hardest things you can do, but watching interviews I found with people 1 to 2 levels above you is by far the best thing. And I'm going to name some people that I follow in just a second here. The last thing is verify, okay? Verify, I try to verify in people's incomes or net worths as much as I can. Now, you'll notice a few numbers I throw out, right? Like I use rules of thumb. Now I figure, the average internet company does somewhere around 20% gross, okay? Gross profit, meaning that's profit before taxes, basically. So 20% gross, if somebody claims to be making $25 million a year, right? Or let's say Ty Lopez, his company does, I've heard from sources about $50 million a year. Now, what does that mean? That probably means between advertising, between the 100 people that work for him, between all of the exotic cars he leases and helicopters and $25,000 a ride jets and his personal trainers and all of these other lifestyle expenses, houses he leases, office space, all that stuff, right? Collaborations, commissions, payouts to his affiliates or partners or business partners or whatever. He's probably taken home a cool $10 million a year. Now, his business, I don't know, does somewhere, I believe, between 50 and 100 million. So he brings home a cool, let's say, 10 to 20 million dollars a year. And you can maybe cut that in half to be real conservative. A lot of rich people have good tax planning, so they don't pay 50%, but you cut that 10 to 20 million in half and you're left with 5 to 10 million. And you figure these guys, he's only blown up in the last couple years, so his net worth is probably somewhere, I would estimate, in the range of, 5 to 10 times 4. It's somewhere between 20 to 40 million dollars, like liquid cash he owns, not in his business, not like his personal net worth is probably 20 to 40. So if you have 6 figures in your bank account, or if you have 7 figures in your bank account, Ty Lopez might be a very good person to listen to. But if you're dead broke, if you've got $5,000 to your name, if you've got $10,000 to your name, you might as well be broke, right? Ty Lopez probably isn't going to help you. His mindset stuff is not going to help you get to that next level as fast as if you were studying those people that are 6 and 7 figure net worths. So I'm doing a lot of back of the envelope math, and who I follow mainly is people now, instead of following billionaires or people who have, tech billionaires, which is the people I used to follow, Jack Ma, Li Ka-shing, all these other people, is I actually watch interviews with a number of other people. I look for people with 8-figure net worths. I try to find some people with 9-figure net worths, but I'm really most focused on people with 8-figure net worths. And here are the marketers that I watch interviews of that have been very helpful to me. If you're in a position to learn from them, by all means, check these out. And these are direct response marketers that I believe have 8 or 9-figure net worths. Now, one of them that I follow closely is a guy who started Golden Hippo Media. Craig Clements, great copywriter, acquaintance of mine, really smart guy. I would say possibly the world's best copywriter. Next marketer I really respect is Gerard Adams, okay? Really smart marketer, acquaintance. We've met a couple times, and really smart guy. He sold a company for a lot of money, and he's a marketer. Ryan Holiday is another great marketer, more of a PR guy, and the only thing I don't like about his interviews is that oftentimes he's, kind of got an angle to things. He's selling things. He's not always completely personal, but he's a really smart marketer and great guy. Here's a dynamo. Here's a beast, and his name is Josh Elizeche. And this kid is 24 years old, running a $40 million a year business. And he's been running the business for a little bit. Sole owner. And that's another thing you got to look out for when you're looking at the people who run these companies. Just because somebody runs a $100 million a year company doesn't mean they're worth, $100 million. It doesn't even mean they're worth $10 million. because if they only got their company up to 100 million last year and there are 4 other founders, you can figure out that, okay, that, let's say 20 million profit, that 20 million profit is divided amongst 5 people. So that one founder that you found that claims to be a $100 million man might only be an equal partner, or even worse, a minor partner, and he only has a couple $1,000,000. And if you're looking to learn from 8-figure entrepreneurs, you got to check your math, right? How many other founders does a company have? And the last marketer is a really good guy, Joel Marion. And I'm actually going to put up a last one, which is just super awesome, which is Dan Fleischman, okay? Shout out to Dan Fleischman. Sorry to put you at the bottom. And this guy is super smart PR, marketing, branding sort of guy, create a lot of direct response brands. But all of these people, I've studied a lot of their interviews because they're 8- and 9-figure net worths. Now, one thing I recently did, which was kind of crazy, is I joined this ultra expensive mastermind. It cost me to the tune of $100,000. $100,000 for a non-ROI networking group. Yeah, you know, it was scary for me. But frankly, I've been having such problems surrounding myself with more 9-figure marketers or more 8-figure marketers. I have a couple in my circle, but you know, I have a lot of friends who run 8-figure businesses in my circle. A very few who have 9-figure businesses in my circles. But these are guys, I don't hang out with them that often. The guys who have 8-figure businesses, you know, most of them only actually have a 7-figure net worth. The guys who run 9-figure businesses, they have an 8-figure net worth, but I don't see them that often. Now, I joined this it's called the $100 million mastermind because I wanted to surround myself with the next level of people. And for me, getting myself surrounded with others that are 1 to 2 levels above me has been, you know, not just watching their interviews, but surrounding myself, immersing myself in people that are a level above me. I can't immerse myself with, you know, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. If I could, that'll probably be really good. They were like my buddies. But either way, you know, I can go 1 level up, but I had to pay to play. And this mastermind is just a beast. And I'm actually really excited to be a part of it to help me go to the next level in my business. So make sure you subscribe if you're taking yourself to the next level, because I'm a rocket ship. I'm going up. And if you're coming up with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're really coming up, okay, join that money club. Click that join button next to the subscribe button and join the money club. Get on live calls with me twice a month. And you're also going to get 40 hours of mini courses and videos that are unreleased on this channel to help you take your life to the next level. So get your mind straight, right? Mindset. But seriously, guys, if you got some value from this, if you understand what I'm talking about, I hope you already got your mind blown. But if you get it now, okay? If you get it now, type in mindset. This is big stuff. It just took me years to figure out what I just showed you. I spent so much time learning from billionaires and it never got me anywhere. And I hope I can make this path to success and winning in the game of capitalism easier for you, just applying these few things that have helped make it easier for me. See you in my next video. Subscribe, join the money club. Join the money club. Let's get it. And I will see you in the next video.